Yo, what's up? Good afternoon, good day, good evening. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm just wanted to pop on here real quick to talk about Ark Raiders. And in case you've been living under a rock for the last few months, Ark Raiders is arguably one of the most anticipated games aside for Battlefield 6 of this year. And we've had a few others as well, like Claire Obscure being another one, for example. But more so, Ark Raiders has been hyped up by the extraction shooter community. Now, if you're not in the extraction shooter community, you may not know what that is. So there are a couple games that are very similar to this, Helldivers being one of them, Tarkov being the poster child of extraction shooter games. But there are other games like Hunt Showdown and Darker. But really, Ark Raiders is coming in and kind of dominating the space and opening up people that have not been in this genre to this genre, meaning that if they'd never played or they didn't like extraction shooters before, after playing Ark Raiders, they're starting to move over quite a lot. And I'll tell you why. It's because Ark Raiders is incredibly fun. I mean, in the first 20 minutes of playing the game, just in the introduction, I knew that it was going to be a game that I was going to buy and play. And that was me playing it for the first time over this open server slam weekend. Again, I only played for 2 hours and I was hooked. I'm ready to play many more hours of this game. And I was never really a big fan of Tarkov and these other kinds of games. Now, what's different about Ark Raiders than these other games is that, let's just compare it to Tarkov, because you guys probably know what that is, I would imagine. Tarkov is a hyper realistic military simulated shooter game that is punishing. I mean, you can die from a single headshot from just anybody, anywhere. You're completely finished, game over. And it's brutal, right? Now, a lot of people like that, but if you're like me, I don't enjoy the learning curve of Tarkov. I think it's very steep. And even though I am a first person shooter gamer typically, it was just never a game that I could never really get into. Just because it was too much. It was over the top. And you could say whatever you want about that, like, oh, you got to get good. Yeah, I agree. But that being said, Ark Raiders is different because of the world that it pulls you into. It has incredible audio. It's got third person shooter mechanics. It's a very smooth gameplay. The drag and drop feature of items is the only thing that's a little clunky to me. And that's just because I'm used to games that, you can pick up a lot of items at one time. With that said, it's still incredibly fun. There's also something different about this game that Tarkov, for example, does not have. Now, Tarkov, there is a learning curve of learning the maps, the guns, and unlocking things, sure. Ark Raiders has skill points, unlike some of these other games. And those skill points increase your movement speed, your carrying capacity, your health recovery, all kinds of things that are going to help you out in game. And from what I understand, they are going to have server wipes. Now, why is that important? That's important because for new players wanting to enter the game that maybe started playing 2 months after release, they keep running into people that have all of the gear, all of the upgrades. This is good news because with a server wipe, that means that everybody's going to start at 0 again. Now, likely there's going to be rewards for people that have certain levels and, whether that's skins or items, we don't know yet. But again, that's good news for new players because you can come in during a server wipe and learn how to play the game before everybody's upgraded and maxed out to the tits with all the gear they could fucking handle and all the skill points maxed out on the board. So that is really good news. But again, like I said, this game is just, it's almost like a fantasy world. Like it's a post-apocalyptic world, right? Where robots have taken over, but it has like a fantasy feel to it, even though it's not a fantasy game. It's not like a traditional fantasy game where you would have like elves and fays, fairies, and just things of that nature with different creatures and beings with magical powers, right? None of that exists in this world, but it has that kind of feel because it's a post-apocalyptic world where there's robots. The Ark robots have taken over the surface. And again, it's just, it feels so clean. The gunplay is clean. Man, I can't say enough about it. And if you're wondering how much the game is, don't worry, it's not an $80, I got your money game. it's $40. Even if this is not a game that you traditionally play, I'd say that for $40, it's worth buying. So I'm selling it. So for those of you who haven't seen yet, or haven't, if you have played the game and you haven't paid attention, the playtest this weekend saw a peak of over 189,000 concurrent players over the weekend, right? Now that's not Battlefield 6 levels, which is over 300,000, but for an extraction shooter, those numbers are massive. And if we look at their sales, turns out they don't actually have sales numbers out there. I looked. However, it does show that there are 169,000 people with it in their wish list at the top, ready to be purchased or close to it. I'm in the same boat. That means that there's people getting ready to buy the game. That's not including people who pre-ordered it, which they have not released those numbers yet. So we're just going to find out in due time what the situation is with this game. But I'd say with close to 200,000 concurrent players, you can imagine there's going to be a vast amount of purchases of this game. They're not paying me to make this, and I have no benefit financially of saying this, but the game's $40 and it's fun enough that I think you should give it a try, mostly because I'm going to be playing it and I'd love to see you guys in there. I want to see more people in this game actually playing it, putting some time in, and it'll be more fun. The more people that are playing it, the more money they have, the more sponsors they get, the more they can upgrade the game, add new levels, add new robots and features and all kinds of cool shit to this game. And I'm excited to play it. Now, my major concern about it is going to be the replayability. I'm leaving this for last because it's not that big of an issue. And when I say replayability, I don't mean 10 hours of gameplay, I'm bored. You know, I don't mean even 20 hours of gameplay or 30 hours of gameplay and I'm bored. I'm thinking more of like getting to like 100 hours of gameplay and getting bored. That's not what I want to see. And when I say replayability, I don't just mean the number of hours playing this kind of game, right? When I say that, I'm thinking of a game like Elden Ring, for example, which is a bit of an outlier. But I'm using Elden Ring as an example because a lot of you know what it is and you've played it. And the replayability of Elden Ring is very high. Putting in 100 hours and then going back to the beginning and playing again because you might have missed something or because there's a new build. You know, it's a single player game that you can put hundreds of hours in and probably still learn something new. Now, again, Elden Ring is an outlier. I understand it's very different than Ark Raiders, but that's kind of one of my baselines for replayability because a game doesn't have to be that good. But if Ark Raiders can break that 100 hour, 200 hour gameplay time frame, then I think it has a lot of legs and it's definitely worth $40. I mean, my God, even if you get 100 hours of gameplay from a game and it's $40, it's kind of worth it right off the rip. But again, is it going to be the same repeated thing over and over and over again, nothing new? Or is it always going to be more interesting because they're going to have missions and quests that you need to go on? You have to fight a certain robot. You've got to go do this. I think it's going to end up being like that, where we haven't really explored that yet, where there's a quest to go destroy a queen and collect a certain thing, or kill 2 queens in one match, or kill 3 leapers, right? Whatever it is, I think that'll be fun. And this also opens up the potential, since it's an open world game. Since it's a online multiplayer game, to have potential for like world events, which is going to be great. It's going to be great, which is kind of exciting, because it just, my point is there's a lot of things they can do with it, and I want to see a lot of people in here playing this game because I'm going to be playing it. I want to see it go far because it is really fun. Can't wait to see what they do with it. But all right, you guys, you can catch me live here on YouTube and on twitch.tv/Hey Reads, same name as the YouTube. And I will be playing Ark Raiders. I play other games as well, but I'll be focusing on Ark Raiders a lot. And yeah, you guys can feel free to catch me there. We can talk about it. Let me know what you hate about it. Let me know what you love about it down in the comments, all that kind of stuff. Much love. And yeah, we'll see where we go from here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers. Adios. Get the F out of here. Out of here, dude.